welcome to the final episode of F-Zero GP Legend. I personally am very glad to be finally at the end of this. So next up is the Championship Circuit, just like Maximum Velocity. We have a mostly pointless Championship Circuit that you can only play in Time Attack mode, and in this game it is unlocked when you beat any cup on Expert. And it actually takes place in the main setting of the game, Mute City. Bianca City must be jealous right about now, retroactively speaking, because Maximum Velocity is in the future. And okay, the Championship Circuit. Well, much like Maximum Velocity, this is pretty much your final exam, if you will. It tests everything you have learned about F-Zero racing up to this point. After everything I've been through, this should be very easy. Although that dash plate right there is not easy to hit because you have to go over the magnet zone in order to bring yourself down to Earth after the jump, and then you have to quickly get over to the right where the dash plate is. It's not easy. And I don't like this turn on the ice either. Very easy to slip up though or go too wide.
3 laps to go.
Still, overall, it's a very nice course, and an interesting thing about it is, you see that the default best time, I have not raced this on this save prior to this recording, you see that the best time is a flat 2 minutes. Usually for the other courses it's some ridiculously high number, so you're guaranteed to set a record on your first run. But this time around, you're going to notice that I finished the Championship Circuit with it barely under 2 minutes, like within a second under 2 minutes. Maybe that's because I'm bad? Could be. Although, I do take that as a sort of way to challenge myself, but what's unfortunate about the Championship Circuit here is that I do not believe it allows you to save a replay. You can save a ghost, but then again, you can save a ghost on any course. But you only get one ghost per save file overall anyway, so might as well be the Championship Circuit. So I should have boosted there. I don't know what I was thinking. It was way too risky.
Wonderful.
I did want to get in under 2 minutes, just so I could show you what the record screen looks like. Anyway, there's no developer ghost or replay for you to view like there was in Maximum Velocity, which is rather unfortunate. I like having a kinda sorta opponent, even though it's technically not an opponent.
Choose your difficulty. Expert.
It is time for the final Grand Prix, and oh boy, what a way to finish. It is the Platinum Cup, and as you may have guessed, this is where all of the nostalgia courses are going to come into play. First up is Mute City 1, and I wish you could have come up with interesting subtitles for all of these, Nintendo, but gosh.
3, 2.
And then again, what would you call this? The Super Nintendo game didn't have any subtitles, so I guess... Now, I should mention that none of the nostalgia courses have expert variations. They're all the same whether you play on normal, novice, standard, or expert. Which I suppose is okay, but they kind of missed out on this sort of opportunity that I saw. You know how in Super Nintendo F-Zero there were 3 variations of Mute City. Mute Cities 1, 2, and 3. So what they could have done was make me play Mute City 1 on Novice mode, Mute City 2 on Standard, and Mute City 3 on Expert. That would have spiced things up a little, I guess. I mean, we already saw Mute City 1 over in Jack Levin's story. But I suppose it doesn't really matter. I mean, that would have been a clever use of the whole, oh, the course is different on Expert mode, but then again, not all of Super Nintendo F-Zero's courses had second variations or tubes in them. Like, there was no Sand Ocean 2, which is unfortunate. So we finished that race with absolutely no power left. I think you can see a single pixel of power there, but I suppose it doesn't matter. Next up is Big Blue. You'd think we were doing the entire Night League, because there are 4 Night League courses. 4 courses from the Night League, the original Night League. Big Blue
Three,
did
two,
not do so well in the transition as Mute City did. Did you see that pit area over to the left? It is way too short. You do not recover nearly enough energy from just coasting through it, and the course is very long compared to how long the pit area is. So, that's uncool. What's also uncool is the machine's trying to slam into me. I can never destroy them. Also, that ice area is no longer a threat. Not that it was a threat in the original Big Blue, but it was much larger. And you might actually slip if you turn too much, but not anymore. It's way too short to even be considered a threat. So I gotta talk about something over the next 3 laps. The machine I have used is the Moon Shadow. It is the final machine that you can unlock with our e-reader over in Japan. Although over in here in America, you just have to play through Zero Test, and it is actually a pretty nice unlockable. I like the Moon Shadow. It's a very nice machine. What's unfortunate, well, not really unfortunate. What's weird about it is you can see that it seems to have 2 boosters on its back. Well, 2 active boosters, yet there appear to be 4 boosters, yet only 2 of them are actually going. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's a graphical bug.
Final lap.
Or maybe the Moon Shadow is just designed that way because it is. Who knows? Oh, that was risky there. Oh, I am... for a moment there, I thought I was gonna die. Speaking of dying, look at how many spare machines I have left. Yeah! In a vain attempt to make the Platinum Cup even remotely difficult on Expert Mode, you start with 0 spare machines. That means a single death means you have to start all over again. That's not even the best part. There are, in fact, a whopping 8 courses in the Platinum Cup. 8 of them! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 courses from the original F-Zero.
2, 1, fire.
And like 4 of them are from the Night League. Here's the 3rd, the original Silence. At least you get to hear the original Silence theme. That's very nice, in my opinion. Although it seems to be a little bit buggy. Like, I don't know, something to do with the sound channels and one of the instruments sharing a sound channel with the sound effects or something like that, but it sounds really off and horrible. So, I think somebody posted a fixed version, but I'm too lazy to dig for it.
3 laps to go.
So, let's see here. Now, they, as I said, they decided to put 8 courses from the original F-Zero into the Platinum Cup. What I don't really get is why they didn't make use of the gimmick they were already using and have 5 courses for Novice and Standard Mode, and then 5 different courses for Expert Mode. Because some of these are like still kind of difficult for reasons we'll get to later. Spoiler alert: Fire Field is at the end of this. Then again, let's see. If you take out the 2 Deathwind courses, because Deathwind was a horrible idea and it's not even in any of the other F-Zero games anyways, that leaves 13 courses to work with.
Congratulations!
You could take out 2 of the music variations. I'm thinking about this too much. What course is next? No, you know what? That's actually hilarious. There's a 2-way tie between Dr. Stewart and Pico, who are 2 characters from the original F-Zero. They know this course like the back of their hand, and oh goody, Port Town 2. What could possibly go wrong with Port Town 2? I already showed you during Zero Test Mode, so I suppose we should just sit back and enjoy this ride, because it's going to be a very easy win. In the meantime, there's a little interesting thing in this game about the Moon Shadow's pilot. You notice that in the score screen, she's referred to as Misaki Haruka, which is also the name of Rick Wheeler's girlfriend. So it should come as no surprise that Haruka has survived 150 years of cold sleep, just like Rick did.
3 laps to go.
Wow, cold sleep again. Like, cold sleep is getting to be really popular these days, it seems. But no, the thing is that Rick does not know that the person driving the Moon Shadow is actually his girlfriend until much later in the TV show. So that means GP Legend, the game, spoiled a plot twist. But then again, pretty much everyone saw that plot twist coming anyways.
Final lap.
Because, you know, it's one of those things that the characters are oblivious to, even though the audience, like, they know. Like, it's revealed to them in a scene with the villains or something, talking about how, oh, we brought back Rick's girlfriend and we're going to use her against him.
Congratulations!
And speaking of which, that's really a brilliant idea. Getting the protagonist's girlfriend to work against him through brainwashing or whatever. Like, there's no way she could possibly turn traitor against the villain, get her memory back, and just, like... But then again, the villain does not know if that will actually happen. The protagonist would know if that would actually happen.
Ready? Fire.
Anyways, on to the Red Canyon course. They used Red Canyon 1 for some reason, even though Red Canyon 2 is really much more interesting. But then again, Red Canyon 1 is rather short, and I'm okay with this.
4 laps to go.
I mean, think about it. We have to deal with 8 full courses. I really don't want to spend forever on, like, just this one run of the Grand Prix. The good news is you just have, because it doesn't have expert variations of the courses, you just have to beat it once on expert mode, and you unlock everything that you get for beating it. On any of the 3 difficulties, etc. I also like the original Red Canyon music here. Aside from a problem with the music, which I've already talked about over in Silence.
Final lap.
Also, that high note there was particularly bad. Not that I should expect the GBA to have really good music. Like, the GBA in general doesn't really have, oh my god, amazing music
Congratulations!
in any games, really, except for, like, Pokemon, I think.
First place.
Seriously, though, there are Game Boy Color games with better sounding music that I will actually listen to in my MP3 player. Technology marches on, I guess. Oh goody, Sand Ocean. Sand Ocean, Sand Ocean.
3, 2, 1. Fire.
So this is going to be a particularly long course compared to the others. In fact, we pretty much only got long courses left now. There's Sand Ocean, Firefield, and I think Whiteland too. Oh, is Dr. Stewart actually going to... Oh my god! This is just like the original F-Zero, when the Golden Fox was always, like, way ahead of you in every Grand Prix. That is actually a funny coincidence. At least I hope it's a coincidence. Well, I hope it's not a coincidence, because that would be pretty clever. And the Wild Goose is right behind me! Hooray! Now, if only the Fire Stingray would get up here, but I actually don't think... There's 34 characters in the game, so there's a good chance the Fire Stingray would be picked for that pool of 30 racers per Grand Prix. Oh well, my machine's pink, so we've gotten our pink quota filled, I suppose. How many laps are we down to? 2? Yes, 2.
2 laps to go.
Oh, here comes the Golden Fox again. I think I'd better boost. I'm just listening to the music right now. I actually do like the Sand Ocean remix. Very nice.
Final lap.
At least it is very nice up until this part right here. I don't like this part of the song. It just sounds weird. Especially that part of it. Are we done with Sand Ocean yet? Oh, you...
Congratulations!
The Golden Fox hit me and stopped me from being able to boost one last time. Oh.
Won first place.
That's actually kind of funny. Shame he didn't win the race as a result. Just 2 courses left. Next up is Whiteland, Whiteland 2. And the good news is I don't think you have to hold the down button in order to get over the jump anymore.
1.
At least for most machines, but we still hold the down button anyways because we're used to that. I'm so glad that they decided to bring back the old Whiteland theme because I like it a lot better than... Well, I think it works out a lot better than it. That was a horrible mistake. I think the original Whiteland theme works a lot better than the one introduced in F-Zero X, to be perfectly honest. Not that the song from F-Zero X was bad, it's just, you know, fits the whole wintry theme better.
4 laps to go. You've got a new booster.
Although that does beg the question, they're using the Whiteland 1 theme, actually. They're using the Whiteland 1 theme for Whiteland 2. Strange, but I suppose they didn't want to double up on Whiteland courses. Which makes sense. I mean, all 8 courses are unique. You've represented every Grand Prix venue except Deathwind, which has been axed anyways. Now, you know what would have been really cool? If Whiteland 1's theme was used for most of the race, and then during the final lap, Whiteland 2's theme starts up. Yeah, that would have been interesting if any of the other courses actually had final lap themes anymore.
2 laps to go.
Oh well, I don't really like final lap themes that kind of interrupt the original tune. I wonder why the guardrails glow. They sort of like light up. No, it's just a weird thing.
Final lap.
Gotta be careful not to go over the finish line when you make that jump because all of the computers will follow you and make the race take longer. Which is something I don't want right now.
Go!
There we go.
Congratulations!
7 down and just 1 to go.
You won first place!
And I'm looking at the timeline in Camtasia right now. This is Camtasia, isn't it? I get Camtasia confused with another program sometimes. It looks like there's a good solid 2-3 minutes of credits after the Grand Prix is done, so
3, 2, ready?
I'll let you know when to quit if you don't care for the credits. Oh, that had to hurt. Anyways, Firefield, what can we say about it? I actually, well, obviously I like this better than the original course because, you know, you can actually turn. You can actually make the turns now. And, you know, the pit area is now actually useful to take because, you know, it recovers your energy a lot faster and it's much more worth it. Now those landmines, however, those are placed rather haphazardly. Nothing, it doesn't really look like the original mine formation, but it's actually harder to avoid them, though, because after they've exploded, there's this big pool of lava, so good on them for doing that. That trap is way...
to go.
They kind of handled the magnet trap poorly. In fact, was there even a magnet trap in Port Town? I do not think there was. I don't think they bothered making a magnet trap. You know, the kind that pulls you towards the wall. That's rather unfortunate. That's one little deviation from the original game. And they could have... And I get that they're trying to recreate it by putting the conveyor belt there, but couldn't the conveyor belt cover the entire part of the track in order to replicate that? Ah, stupid Golden Fox. Even the Golden Fox is having nostalgic moments there. Keeps messing with me.
You've got a new booster. Final lap.
You can also recover well, if you want to get the most out of that pit area, you actually have to be skillful with keeping on this little small strip before you get into the big strip. Ah, the Golden Fox! Who thinks I should use the Golden Fox in F-Zero Climax, huh? Oh, a little risk there, but we have finished Firefield in first place. I'm surprised my machine didn't explode when it ran over the lava, because I don't think it would have had enough life to survive that if the race were still on. But that is it. The Platinum Cup and F-Zero GP Legend are done. So now we just have to watch this summary of our scores, and we have the credits to sit through, and then that is it for GP Legend. Do I think it's a good game? Yes. Do I think it's a good F-Zero game? Yes. I mean, this whole thing was fun to play. It might not have been completely fun for you guys to watch, because I know Zero Test was... that was not something you should watch. That is something you play on the bus ride home or something. But still, this isn't really a bad game, but when we get to F-Zero Climax, you're gonna see why I wish they would have taken just a little bit more time with this game. Maybe I've actually just dropped Climax and GP Legend and put all the good stuff from both games into one, because as I've said, GP Legend came out the same year as GX. Seems kind of like they were rushing it. The computer fails at avoiding landmines. Now you see this credit screen every time you complete a story mode and every time you beat a Grand Prix on Expert mode. So that's a lot of times to watch the credits. But thankfully you only have to actually watch them once. Every time after, you can just press start to skip them, but since you haven't seen the credits yet, or heard this kind of okay credits theme, even though I'm talking over it, course design, you stink. I'm sorry, you just stink. David Rusty Ventura. Okay! No idea who that is, but that's a really weird name now that I think about it. Must join the Super Mario Club. I bet every kid was wondering how to join the Super Mario Club back in the day. Because, you know, they're in the credits of pretty much all the Nintendo games. As like the bug testers. Oh, Suzak, very funny. I get it. The end. I will see you in F-Zero Climax.